radio show. I am your host, Dr. Tammie Harris, and I am so excited to be in the building. And I'm going to be bringing up my guest in a moment. Oh, my goodness. I can't wait for you all to tune in to Dr. Tabatha Russell. You are going to be blessed indeed by her words, everything that she has to say. You're going to be like, oh, yeah, this is good. This is right on time. But in the meantime, welcome to Mindset to Millions. You know, with Mega Source Entertainment, our goal is to empower, drop knowledge, and share some tools. That's it. Drop some knowledge, give you some nuggets, empower you, and share some tools to help you get to your next. So I always say, my guests, we're here to keep you informed, smiling, laughing, and yes, more important than anything, growing. As Coach Rich says, we just ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and we're building bricks that we have inside of us to share with others to help you get to your next. So let's do this. Bring it to the stage. Yes, yes, yes. Dr. Tabatha Russell, welcome, Queen. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me on this evening.
Absolutely. She's beautiful inside and out, and that smile is genuine. And I tell you what, she has something powerful to share. I love her platform, Powerful on Purpose. And I'm going to share a little bit about who she is, and then I'm going to let her jump in and say who she wants you to know her as on tonight. But man, her bio is magnificent. She's an international keynote speaker, best-selling author. She's a financial expert. She wears lots of hats. One of her quotes is, take ownership of being the CEO of your life through transforming your mindset. So you know we have the right person. She's already talking about mindset and transforming your mindset. Change your life through mastering your vision. And that's ours truly, yours truly, mine's truly. I love her. She's like a sister, a friend, a home girl. I've been on many stages with her, but the one and only Dr. Tabatha Russell. And I could go on and say a lot more about her, but I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about her. She have 20 years of experience in finances, real estate. Yeah, she's a real estate mogul, right? We're twinning. Talk to us a little bit later. Tell the people who you are. What do you want them to know about you on tonight?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure to definitely sit in with you on tonight. My name is Dr. Tabatha Russell. I am the CEO and founder of Inside Inspired Women, which is the home of the Breakthrough Millionaires and the Powerful on Purpose Summit. I endeavor to help women from all walks of life walk in their purpose, whatever that may look like. I believe that we're all instinctively great at something. Whatever that something is to the individual is what we take, we diversify it, and we then make multiple streams of income with it, as well as allow them to create generational wealth. So I am passionate about helping people to be the best version of themselves that they can be humanly possible.
Y'all heard it from her mouth to your ears. Okay. Let's get ready to do this. So tonight we want to have a great conversation with Dr. Tabatha, and I know some of you all will jump in the chat and ask questions. Feel free to ask questions, make comments on anything that she is sharing. I mean, she wrote this one book called I Divorced My Money and Married My Mindset. I'm going to tell you, I got that book, y'all. If you don't have that book, you need to get that book. And at the end, she's going to tell us how we can reach out to her. She's a coach also. She just does a lot of things. She's being like real modest right now and not telling you all everything. But as we go through the night, you will see exactly what I mean. So Dr. Tabatha, I want to start out. What's the deal on this thing I keep hearing you saying, powerful on purpose, to be powerful on purpose? Break that down a little bit for us.
I believe that powerful on purpose is being intentional about everything that you do. When I came up with that concept, I had been studying how it is that we can train our mindsets to break old habits. And so being powerful on purpose allows us to be able to detach from the things that no longer serve us and now walk into our greatness, right? Whatever that is. And the reason why I preface it that way is that I believe that all of us are absolutely amazing at something. And so we focus on whatever that is, whatever your sphere of genius is, right? Your sphere of greatness. And we take that and we really hone in on those skills. I believe that we can master whatever our greatness is. And sometimes we're so multifaceted, right? Like a lot of times people hear my bio and they may say, oh my gosh, she does so many things. Well, I didn't start out that way. I started off with taking one thing and making that thing really good. And then I branched out to something else. And so I believe that we all can do that. And we can live powerful on purpose, meaning that we can walk in our inner strength, whatever that may be for us.
Mm, 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 mm. I love it. I love it. I love it already. And so when you're thinking about your inner strength and you're thinking about being powerful on purpose, what are some key strategies for developing a purposeful, powerful life that's on purpose? How do we get there?
Well, first of all, just like your show, Mindset to Millions, right? Our mindset determines everything about us. I tell people that I've been in and around the realm of mindset for a long time, and I can generally tell what's going on in a person's thought process just by their actions, just by their conversation. And based upon that, I know where they're directed towards, right? Whatever it is that they may have going on emotionally, sometimes physically, you can tell, and all of that. So I believe that for us, everything that starts in the mindset now has the ability to determine our actions, determine our emotions, sometimes determine how we feel in our bodies physically. And so with that, we now can, I believe whatever you put good in, you get good out. And so, as we continue to build ourselves and grow ourselves and groom ourselves as we work on our mindset, then everything else seemingly falls into place. The same way with money. I believe that we can control our money through our mindset and having the right type of actions. A lot of people think that just because you get money, I know a lot of people that make money, but they're not able to keep it. And so it's not in today's time, it's not about how much money you make, right? But how much money you can keep. So your mindset has everything to do with how we start as well as it determines how we finish.
That is so good. I think the thing that you said that really stood out to me is not so much how much money we get, but how much money we keep. So in thinking about mindset, and I'm thinking about where I came from, I know you now live in South Carolina, but you lived in Charlotte for a long period of time. I'm from Eastern North Carolina, grew up, daughter of a sharecropper on a farm, in the projects in the trailer park. I know that there's been seasons in my life where I still had a poverty mindset. And so, although I made money because my mindset had not quite shifted, I didn't necessarily use the money the way that I should have used it. And then, of course, as I grew in mindset, that shift and change and grew as I grew. So, in thinking about individuals who maybe have some old tapes, some old poverty mindsets. How do you in your programs, how do you speak to that?
So for me, I tell everybody that you really need to know who you are, first of all, right? Like we sometimes identify ourselves with stuff, right? What kind of
Mm,
house you have, what kind of car you drive, where you work, all of that determines sometimes a status, right? So I grew up in inner city Philadelphia. And so with me growing up in inner city Philadelphia, it afforded me the opportunity to participate in a gifted and talented program where I was bused to Northeast Philadelphia, meaning that I caught a bus every morning that took me to the L train to the end of the line, only for me to catch my school bus to go to school. And so as I'm riding on the school bus, I'm passing these massive houses, these nice cars in the driveway. And that got me on my path to me saying, I wonder what it is that they do, how it is, some of my peers in school, they're driving every day to school. And so, I'm a little curious. Sometimes I could be a little forthright, right? So I'm asking questions. How is it that you can afford to drive to school every day? And so they would tell me about their parents being in businesses and different things like that. And from that one statement, I'm like, oh, I want to be in a business. Well, I will say that where we come from serves us for us in our adulthood, meaning that the things that we didn't have in our childhood, we strive to get those things in our adulthood, meaning that when you grow up and you see that there's a different side of life, you now want to encompass those things into what it is that you do on a regular basis today. So what I tell everybody is that it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. Like I always say that today is a good day for you to get started on a new path, on a new journey. So with that, you just have to decide on what it is that you want and then move forward. So it allows you to be able to change your trajectory, right, on what it is that you're trying to do and set yourself up for success. But you got to first make your mind up that that's what you want to do.
Wow. That's interesting that you say that, because it's almost like where you came from and what you saw, you were able to visualize, and you knew that it was more than where you was being bused from. And I just spoke to someone today and I said, you have to manifest the things that you are believing for. And that's through seeing it, seeing yourself winning, seeing yourself on the stage, giving a great speech, seeing yourself saving $100,000, whatever your goal is to be powerful on purpose, you got to manifest and see that. What about words? When I'm around you, I notice that you're always speaking life. You're always smiling. Like you smile more than me. I mean, I think I smile and laugh more than anybody. But talk to the audience a little bit about the power of manifesting, the power of your words. I know you're a woman of faith as well. And you and we have talked about, the word of God and how, we're going to have what we say. Can you maybe share a little bit with us about the power of your words?
Oh yeah, I definitely believe that life and death is in the power of the tongue. So we have the ability to create our life, right? Really design out every detail of what it is that we want. And as we do that, we have to be specific. And what I mean by that, like I want a black, brand new Mercedes Benz, blacked out with black rims and tinted windows with I want some red seats in it though.
Come on now.
And so sometimes you have to be detailed in order to see what it is that you want. Not only that, Habakkuk 2:2 tells us to write the vision and make it plain. So, along with that, you get the opportunity to see it. Now, once we can see it in our minds, we can also conceptualize it by our words. And now we're creating it, right? We're creating the frame for whatever it is that's going to go in that frame. And so, with us speaking positivity in everything that we do, as well as for us to continue to have words of affirmation, right? Whatever it is, speak life to that, right? Like I am a queen. I am the head and not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. I'm the lender and not the borrower, right? Just something simple as that can help you to keep your mindset on track, because I tell everybody that challenges will come. However you respond to that challenge determines sometimes how long that challenge is going to be there, or how long you remain in that mindset at that particular time. Meaning our emotions a lot of times control a lot of things about us. However, our mindset can overrule that. And a lot of people are like, well, emotions and mindset are kind of like the same thing. No, there's a distinct difference in how you think and sometimes how you react to things that makes all the difference in the world. So our words are definitely powerful. One of my favorite scriptures is that you can have whatsoever you say of. So if you're saying that, my back ache, my headache, I have a toe ache, whatever it is, you're manifesting that. The law of attraction is calling that to you. However, if you get up in the morning, you say today is going to be the absolute best day ever, then you're going to have more of that because you're putting it out there. And I believe that our angels are dispatched to create what it is that we're saying at that particular time. So it's important that we continue to have that positive mind frame as well.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's see what people are saying in the chat here. Yes, yes. Mindset determines everything. Welcome, welcome, Ronnie. So good to see you. Music is in the house. Yes, yes, yes. Someone said, yes, they agree with what we're saying. At the end of the day, your word have power. What you think about the most is what you're going to have. What you attract to you is based on what you're thinking about the most. So, Dr. Tabitha, I know in our coaching world, you see it and I see it too. A lot of people are not successful because their confidence is low. I got a class right now called Mindset to Millions, the Confident Woman, and I have every type of entrepreneur in that class, and a lot of them deal with the same thing: low on confidence, low on being assertive. When you think about having confidence and you think about, being able to assert yourself when needed, both personally and professionally, some of them have said, where I'm from, women are to be quiet or women are to be humbled, or if I'm too assertive, then I'm acting like a man. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because you're a boss realtor, you're a business owner, you're a financial guru. I mean, you wear a lot of hats. And I've seen you in action, even on the stage. You own the stage. Have you ever struggled with feeling like you were coming across too bold or with too much confidence? And if so, how did you handle that?
Yeah, I will say that I have had some feedback that I did come across strong. I can remember when I worked in corporate America, I had a team of men at the time. I have a technical background, so I was in technical support, and being a leader in that role at the time and having gentlemen that were reporting to me, some of them was like, gosh, you're really hard. Well, for me, it was that I had high expectations. I'm like, I believe that what you put in is what you get out of it. And so if you don't show up 100% on any given day, you're not going to get 100% out of it. So for me, it was definitely a little bit of a challenge, because I'm like, oh, okay, here I am. I'm thinking I'm doing something good, right? Like I'm really showing up. And so it was eye-opening to me to be able to hear that. However, I do know that there's a balance, right? Like the balance is know your people first of all, and those that you deal with. And once you become accustomed to knowing who's around you, according to like what the word tells us, right? Know those that labor among us. that helped me to be able to bring balance into the situation, as well as being able to interact with each person in their own kind of way. So I will also say that sometimes when you are in a leadership role, it can be misconstrued as far as how you come across. So therefore, knowing the environment somewhat allows you to be able to bring that balance in there and know that some people prefer you to be direct, where others prefer you to, have a little praise in there along with some reprimand and then praise again. So with that, it helped me to become a better leader. You say I smile a lot. You say I'm always positive and things like that, because I choose to be positive. I choose to see the good in everything. That doesn't mean that I don't have challenges. And when I did go through my situation where I felt less than confident, of course, I looked at me to see what it was that I could do differently in the situation to build up my confidence, right? You know how they say encourage yourself? Well, that was definitely a moment for me to be able to do that. I firmly believe that we earn a seat at the table. A seat at the table is not always given to us. And so having a level of confidence sometimes come from the hard work that you put in. And so in order for those individuals that may want to, that may lack confidence, we'll say, for example, knowing just that you earned that position, you earned the right to be CEO, you earned the right to be entrepreneur, boss girl, boss babe, all of that, right? That should instill a level of confidence in you to say, I've really worked hard to get here. And also just knowing that nobody can take that away from you, right? Because it's not something that was given to you. I believe that the pathway to success is earned. And so with that being said, it gives you, it should give us a new level of confidence, a new level of self-worth. And once we know our self-worth, then a lot of times we won't back down from that. Like you can't take me off of me knowing that I've worked to get here. And once you do that, it generally will help you out. So having them to know that and own it will definitely help.
Good stuff. And I want to say hello to those who are still coming in. Angie, of course, Sharon Graves. I see she's in here. Thank you so much for joining in. And feel free to put any questions in the chat that you may have for Dr. Tabatha. And for those who are just joining in, Dr. Tabatha Russell, she has a whole platform called Powerful on Purpose. She is the ultimate girl boss. She's the boss babe. She's doing big things. She's a realtor. She's a financial guru, real estate guru. She's an international speaker, and she focused on how to help you shift your mindset to understand that you have the ability to be powerful on purpose. So I just wanted to come in and just say that for those who are just joining in. I want you to know who you have amongst you. And she have lots of pedigree on doing so many different things that earn her right at the table, just as she just stated. So Dr. Tabatha, as we go on in this segment, people face some obstacles in trying to become or working towards becoming powerful in their personal and their professional lives. So I think about you. I think about you, you're a woman of faith, and you talk about balance. You talk about the importance of knowing your target market, who that is you should be working with, and so forth and so on. Thinking about some common obstacles that people go through. Our good friend Dr. Marcia says life be lifing, right? She'll be on next week, matter of fact, life be lifing. So can you tell us a time in your life where maybe you face obstacles that was trying to keep you from getting to your powerful purpose? And share with us, how were you able to get over them? How were you able to overcome them?
Yeah, so one of the biggest obstacles I faced in my life is that I made one decision I lost $500,000, ultimately losing my home, my car, having bad credit, and ultimately losing my business at the time. I didn't know what I didn't know at the time, meaning that I didn't know my contract needed a contract. I didn't know that I needed to wait till the ink was dry on the paperwork before I tried to move forward. And ultimately, I had a business partner at the time, and they wanted my business more than I did, meaning that once the paper was signed, like they were in action in an instant. And how I found out that all of this was going on, I'm literally in the store shopping for the business as I did on a weekly basis to restock. And my card kept declining. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Now I know that there's money in this account, like the proud mama with an attitude. And so I'm like, oh, wait, I'm going to go call the bank, put my stuff to the side. I go outside and I make the phone call, and literally I'm like crumbling in the parking lot because my account is overdrawn. Um, and I'm like trying to call my assistant. They're not picking up. And it was really an interesting thing. Like I said, when I lost everything, was a wake up call to me. It was the blessing of a lifetime. And people are like, how could that be a blessing of a lifetime? Well, a lot of times when you hit rock bottom, it gives you the opportunity to really rebuild and think about what it is that you want to do. And so for me, I had a lot of time for me to redesign what everything was going to look like. The one thing that I knew that if I didn't know anything else, I knew that I could go back to corporate America, make six figures, get some insurance for my babies, and start life all over again. Because after you lose everything, it's like, okay, what do I have to lose? I have nothing left to lose but going out here and giving it a try, right? Going out here and giving it a 1-2 swing and making it work. And so with that, being powerful on purpose, as I was saying before, with being intentional, is that all of us get the opportunity to reset that foundation, right? Lay out all the bricks, make sure everything is right, and then build on top of that. And so for me, having had lost all the things that I had lost gave me a new sense of appreciation. The one thing that I can definitely say that in the world of financial literacy, there's two types of I would say experts, right? There's the expert that know the information in theory, and then there's the expert that knows it from life experience. Now, I don't know about you, but which one would you want to be out there saying that I'm going to walk you through this process because I've been there versus I know the information? Now, for me, having had walked through having to rebuild my life all over again gave me a newfound appreciation for somebody else who says that I'm struggling. I don't know how to do this. I don't feel confident enough. I don't know where to start. And all I can say is put one foot in front of the other, hold your head up, and keep moving forward, right? Like today is a great day for us to sit down and have a conversation and write out a plan, if nothing else. And with that plan, build on it, get the blueprint, put that together, and now let's take action.
Woo! If you are not preaching up in these rooms tonight, this is good stuff. Ronnie says, great nuggets, Dr. Tabatha. Yes, yes, yes. I love this. I love this. You said sometimes we don't know what we don't know. That was rock bottom can be a blessing of a lifetime. I mean, really, the reset. When you talked about theory versus experience, I recently said to someone, faith that has not been under fire is just theory.
That's right.
Faith that has not been under fire, that has not been tested. Like you can have faith for something until you really need faith for it, right? You know what I'm saying? And so the experiences that we walk through, honey, literally that brought tears to my eyes because I know that I know that I know. I love what you said. You can go from losing everything. I mean, you're a prime example of it. You know, Dr. Tabitha and I, we have been shopping together. We love some of the very same brands, you know. And, you know, the last time we were together, we were at this wonderful mall and just shopping and looking. And, you know, neither one of us had an issue with going in, picking up whatever we wanted. But who would have known that you went through everything that you went through? Who would have known that, you know, you lost $500,000? Some people who go through things like that, they lose their mind along with the money. But you stayed sane. What kept you sane?
One part of it was my children at the time. I had four sons who are all grown and in the army and doing amazing things. But at the time, they were little. And they're looking at me and I'm looking at them and they looking at me and I'm looking at them. I'm like, the only thing that I could say at the time was that it'll never be like this again. And in me making that promise, it literally woke something up in me. Like I have chills now, just even saying that. And it makes me a little emotional because that was the moment that I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I literally got angry about having to feel like that I'm just going to be one in the number, or that I have to settle for my situation as it was. Now, if nothing else, when I lived in Philadelphia, it taught me to have some grit and it taught me to fight, if nothing else, not physically fight, even though I was
Right.
good at that. And that was that was the thing for a while. But to actually fight with your hard work, right? Faith without works is dead. So how do you have faith or know that you have faith if you haven't had to put your faith to the test? We say faith that's not tested is the opposite, right? No, have you put your faith to the test, right? So when you put your faith to the test and you see that you come out on the other side as pure gold, right? Because you went through the fire, now you know that you have something of purpose, you have something of strength and of power. And so with that, it allowed me though to be able to move forward because first of all, I didn't want to let my sons down.
Yes.
I've been on this journey of, I set out to get my doctorate because I wanted to make an example for them. I set out to want to be successful in business because I wanted to make an example for them. I set out on being a serial entrepreneur because I wanted to be successful for them. However, they've taken it to another level, right? I mean, they are doing some great and amazing things at their ages. They are 10 years or more ahead of schedule for the positions that they hold in every single area of their ranking and different things like that. So I can only say that I'm extremely proud. It sometimes when life throws us a curveball, if we can pick that ball up and throw it back, right back to the pitcher, then we know that we've done something, right? We've just scored or helped to alleviate some of the challenges going forward. Like I know that everything that we do, if we don't change our bad habits, our kids and our grandchildren will inherit them. And so, with the way that our society is, it will be compounded to them. So, for us, it takes, and really, I just recently got this revelation that it takes 1 to 2 generations in order to instill a habit. We can change a habit, but for it to be a generational thing, it has to go through 1 to 2 generations. So, if we don't change it, then they're not going to change it either.
Woo. You know, someone said it very well. I think it was Ronnie said a mouthful. You are saying a mouthful. It's these nuggets are they're giving me life. You know, as we grow in our businesses and personal life, we need to hear this kind of information to help us keep going. Ronnie said, rock bottom is your new beginning. Music says, Dr. Tabitha, that's great encouragement. I appreciate your experience. Yes, 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 yes. Help me to be positive on my goals. Yes, yes. So people are receiving, and I'm in the chat because I want you to know, as we become transparent, it does impact people. Sometimes people are out here thinking they're on their own. They're thinking they're the only one walking through the valley of the shadow of death, because sometimes that's what it feels like. But if we
Right.
keep walking, if we keep running, then God's going to show himself strong and mighty. So, I think about leveraging our strengths, and our talents to increase power and success. So once you go through the journey, you told us your story. You go through the process and the journey, and now you have talents, you have strengths, you have a story, you have a platform to share how to get to your next. And thinking about that, when people are leveraging their strengths, and they're looking at their confidence, and they've been told, like you were told, maybe you're coming across too strong, or maybe you're aggressive and you're not assertive, and things of that nature. And thinking about leveraging strengths, what have you done in your platform to help other women get to that place called there, get to the place called powerful on purpose? I know you got something coming up this Saturday. Let's talk a little bit about your platform, because I believe it's going to bless somebody in our rooms on tonight and on the air.
Absolutely. I believe that sometimes people will say whatever it is that they're feeling or whatever they're thinking. We have the opportunity to accept or reject that information, first of all. Now, I believe that when you know that you know that you know who you are, it doesn't matter what other people are saying, right? It's good to take it into consideration. However, if people are trying to belittle you, or if they're trying to hold you back, that sometimes means that you're in the wrong atmosphere, right? You know how when we were in school, we had the opportunity to sit at the different lunch tables, right? And, the popular kids sat over here, and they would say the kids that were super smart, we don't call them nerdy, but the super smart kids was over here on this side. And then we had the other groups. Well, at some point, I don't know about you, but I had to figure out which one of those tables was mine, right? And it is the same way. Like if we find ourselves in an environment where, first of all, we're the smartest cookie in the bunch, then sometimes we need to find a new circle that's going to challenge us, right? And that's going to tell us how it is that we can even smooth out some of those round edges. But in my platform, one of the questions that I ask specifically is, who are you? Not who does people say that you are, but who are you? And so a lot of times when I ask that question, it sometimes brings people to tears because they do not know. That applies to every single area of our lives. I use it a lot of times when I'm dealing with them about the money mindset, but I've also found out that in our personal environments, we're mom, we're grandma, we're sister, we're auntie, we're all these different people, but who are you? That's who people say that you are, not who you are. So we identify a lot of times with what people say. So in the Powerful on Purpose platform, we give people the opportunity to share their voice, who it is that they are, who they identify with as far as them being a powerful on purpose individual. Who are you intentionally? Who have you grown into? And what's your purpose? And now that you know what your purpose is, now how is it that we can use that purpose to impact nations, impact worlds, impact our environments to where we can cause the ripple effect to take over? Right? Not just from the standpoint that we just go touch one or two people, right? No, how can we make a greater impact for good in in our environments to where people really feel like that they're empowered to be their most authentic self, to be the greatest version of themselves, to be a millionaires unapologetically, right? Like we feel like that sometimes when somebody say, "Oh, I'm a millionaire," like people look at you up and down because they feel like that you're above them and that kind of stuff. No, we put our pants leg on just like everybody else, just that we figured out a secret and a blueprint on how to get it done, right? The mindset to millions, that just didn't come about, right? You had to go through that process in order to get there. And now that you have the blueprint, the model for it to be done, why not teach that? Why not teach powerful on purpose? Why not teach breakthrough millionaires, right? Why not teach these things? Because this is something that we have gotten the, how would you say, the proof that
Come
it
on.
works, first of all. And then secondly, just knowing that we can help others makes all the difference in the world. Because we could rightfully so continue in our success and not want to share it with anybody. Right. But God's given us as a part of our purpose for us to share and be transparent with others on how you get there. Sharing that journey and seeing others create legacies of wealth, it just does everything for me.
Yes, yes, yes. I agree. I approve this message, y'all. I approve this message. Everything that you're saying is just so on point with mindset to millions, making a decision, knowing that you deserve to live a powerful life on purpose. This just blesses me. I'm thinking about effective strategies, as it relates to continuing to move forward, overcoming fear. A lot of people, I've said to people, are you afraid of success? Because I've seen people, I know you've seen it too, being a coach, sabotage their own success. And I've said, are you afraid to succeed? The self-doubt, the fear, the apprehension, the unbelief, the fear. What are you really afraid of? And I remember saying one time in my life, I have nothing to fear. The worst things that could have ever happened to me has already happened. And so when you think about fear and doubt and unbelief, because it plays a role in everybody's life. And I know when you're coaching with your students who are coming on that stage, a lot of them are dealing with fear, doubt, unbelief, and trying to overcome fear. What are some things that you've done to overcome fear? Because everybody's had fear at some time or another, or maybe share with your students and how to overcome fear.
Yeah, so one of the things that I do on a regular basis is that I pay close attention to what works and what does not work. And so I found that the things that feared me the most were sometimes the easiest things for me to overcome, but it was me that held myself back, right? Me being my own worst enemy. So I ask people a lot of times when you're fearful, when you're doubtful, when you're worrying and things of concern is going on, like what's really the problem? Right? Is it the fear that you're gonna mess up? Well, everybody messes up. Does
Right.
it, or do you have the fear that you're gonna pass out? Well, you won't be the first person that passed out.
Come
So
on.
for me, when it does come to something that I'm fearful of, I challenge myself to at
Mm,
least try it once, right? And once I've tried it, evaluate it, right? Like, how did that serve
mm,
me? Was that really that bad? And 9 times out of 10, you will find that those things that really fear you are the things that you need to be doing the most that's going to help you to get to that next level. And
mm,
so, in order for us to get over those hurdles, we have to challenge ourselves through those things. And we'll find that going through it is better than trying to go around it, because you try to go around it, well, you're going to come to that intersection again, right? And eventually you're going to have to cross over that intersection. So why not go straight through it? Because the easiest way, the easiest access point between two dots or two roads is straight through. It's a straight line, right? So challenge all of my clients to at least try it once. However, I do know that wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all that getting, get an understanding, right? Don't just go through it. Don't just do it because I'm challenging you to do it. But let's learn through this process, right? 9 times out of 10, going through it is going to save us a lot of time, as well as a lot of heartache and money, right? I always tell people, what is the cost of you not moving forward, not you taking action, not you facing your fears? What is that costing you? And have you added that up? And if you find that that cost is more than what you're willing to pay, then it sounds like you need to take some action to get to moving. So that's my challenge. I'm this is where you probably see that little confidence come in at, or they might say that I'm a little harsh, but I'm like, no, if you hadn't tried it, then how do you know if it's gonna work or not?
Wow. Wow, that is so good. And, we have to call people up. We have to help people be accountable to themselves. And I think, as women and men, a lot of times people say, I'm going to stay in my lane, I'm minding my business. But all the experiences that you've had and that you shared on tonight, oh my goodness, is helping somebody. I know I'm looking here in the chat, and people are getting so much out of what it is that you're saying. Fear of success is a real thing. Dr. Marcia says, welcome, Dr. Marcia. Mr. Politic, I hope you can get in another way to hear. He's having some issues with the sound. Hope you can get in. At the end of the day, we must make the decision for ourselves. Are we willing to do what it takes? Can we do it afraid? I know there's been times in my life where I had to do it afraid. I was nervous. I was shaking in my boots. I wasn't certain. But the more you practice, the more you put yourself out there. You said something so good about, and I say this all the time, if you're the smartest person in the room, you gotta get with some new people. One of the things I notice about you and some of my other mastermind sisters, we're always willing to go in rooms where we're not the smartest people. Where did you learn to do that at?
I will say that it was probably just a few years ago that I learned to surround myself with folks that know a little bit more than I do, that it can help me to accelerate the process. Like, I thought I was doing something good, coaching, doing one-on-ones, doing business consulting, leadership training, all of this. I thought that I was on a clear path to success. However, being in those rooms, getting a seat at the table, changed my mindset, and it allowed me to be able to adopt a better business model. Like, and it really showed me that I had a little bit of work to do, right? Like, I could work less and make more. Like, I really learned the concept of how 10x is easier to make than 2x. And somebody was like, well, what do you mean by that? It's a whole lot easier to make a whole lot more money than it is to make a little bit of money. And so with that, it allowed me to be able to now excel in my business so much greater. And so having people around me and having those intellectual conversations about business in itself, because one thing that I did realize is that a lot of times people didn't understand when I was talking about some of the challenges that I was going through or have gone through in my business. Like, you lose $500,000 and people be like, girl, oh, if I was you, no, no, honey, I don't want to hear that. Like how you can help me to strategize to now make 1 million where I won't
Mm,
even feel that 500,000 being lost, right? So having to be now around people that can help me to navigate that or understand what that challenge is and say, girl, if you do this, and this move, then that's going to help you to make 2
mhm,
million now. Like we're going to forget about that 500,000. It don't even matter anymore.
mm,
So I learned the power of being able to level up and to have the
mhm,
opportunity to have those around you that can have those next level conversations was invaluable. I tell people out here
mhm,
today, if you really want to excel at something,
mhm,
then get in a room where the conversation is going on, right?
mm,
Get a coach, get a mentor, a trainer, and you will excel your process, right? Like because they have the
mm,
secret, they've already done it. So if you're
mhm,
following somebody and they've already done what it is that you endeavor to do, then you are already 10 steps ahead of somebody that does not have a coach. So I would say I would not be out here in these streets without one because I need somebody that's helping me to now navigate some $1 million problems, right?
mhm.
Forget 500,000. Let's move on to the next level, some millions. So
Yes.
easily that helps me to go forward. And that's why I decided to get in those rooms.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. So I hear Dr. Tabatha saying it's time to level up. Hey, for China, good to see you on tonight. Yes, yes, Daryl. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have more people coming in and chiming in, but I hear you loud and clear. You understand your value. You understand your worth. You know you belong at the table. You've been through your journey. You lost, you gained. Now, let's say the person who's listening in and say, I've been there, I've done that, I'm on the other side. Now, I want some tips because you're the financial guru. I want some practical tips for managing and growing wealth and my financial power. What are maybe 2 or 3 things? Because we're almost out of time, but I got another question. Maybe 2 or 3 things on this question. What are some practical tips for managing and growing your wealth, your financial power? You're there now and you're trying to manage it. What would you say?
Yeah, I will definitely say that diversity is everything. So you want to
Mm,
look at your portfolio and see your areas of weakness as well as your areas of strength. In order for you to be able to now have a stronger portfolio, how it is that you can create additional streams of income, which is going to help you to now make money in your sleep, right? We call it pillow money. So it's okay for us to make money while we're working during our workday. However, how is it that you can add to it where you have money coming in and it is
mm,
residual income? So, with that, I would say having your portfolio to where potentially you have some mutual funds, you have your 401k set up. If necessary, you have your emergency fund. You also have in a savings fund as well as a vacation plan, right? Like a lot of times we don't take time out for us. And so my second thing is self-care. How is it that you can plan in there for you to have self-care? And the reason
mm,
why I say that is this, even when I'm talking to the person that's just getting started, when we're setting up their financial plan, I am making sure that they reward themselves and celebrate those wins in there because I found that if we don't take the time to do that, when we do get a lot of money, we're spending every dime that we have because
mhm,
we feel like we have to have it, right? But why not celebrate yourself on the way to those wins? And
mhm,
so having a self-care plan now helps you as well. And those are a couple of things that I like to talk about: diversity and having
mhm.
self-care all into that definitely helps you on your road to success.
Oh, wow. This is so good. People chiming in. Daryl, good stuff. Says strategy to make a million. If you work for a regular company, invest 14% of your income before tax into your 401k. This is good. This is good. C Brand says time to level up. Awesome, Dr. Tabatha. Yes, yes, yes. Daryl says also divert overtime income before taxes into your 401k.
That's right.
Yes, Detroit City headshots. Hey, beautiful one. She says, hello, ladies. The conversation is fire. And she gave us some fire headshots the last
Oh,
time
I
we
love
was
it.
in
Yes, she
Detroit.
did. She did.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes, 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 yes. And Daryl says, learn more about funds in the 401k.
Mhm.
C Brand says self-care is important.
Mhm.
Yeah, people are chiming in. Yes, 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 this is good. Last question I have for you. We have about 7 minutes. And of course, I want at the end you to tell people how they can reach out to you, get in contact with you. You talked about it a little bit, so this is good. You kind of already answered it, but I do want to say this and put it out there. You know, it's important for individuals to maintain balance between power and humility, you know, in their personal and their professional lives. I had a chance to meet your wonderful husband. He's usually with you a lot when you're, you know, having your displays up, selling your books, and you all work so well together in unity. And I see how you're taking vacations, you're traveling. She just had a birthday celebration party, a surprise party on Sunday. So I see you balancing it out. So, how important would you say, and you hit on it a little bit, the value of, you know, power and humility, professional and personal? What would you want to say to the audience tonight in the value to those things?
I will say that you have the power to design all of that.
Mm,
Like, I understand that when you're first starting to build a business, it requires a lot more of your time and your attention. And as you continue to move forward, now you get the opportunity to say what it is that I can or I cannot do. It's almost like I heard the analogy recently is that your time has a cost, right? So
mhm.
you get to determine what value you place where. And so for me, I've had the fortunate availability to create my schedule in such a way that it allows me to have balance. I will say that at one time in my life, I might have been considered to be a little bit of a workaholic. And now that I've been able to diversify my time as well, it allows me to have balance and have it more effectively. Like we take time out for vacations, we take time out to spend time together with each other. You mentioned how my husband comes and he supports me and different things like that. That in itself is power in action, right? Him being able to give of himself, and I do quite often the same. And so, with being able to do that, we've been able to create synergy around building the brand and building the business. And so, with that, if we continue to do this on the track that we're on, it allows us to be able to now instill that in our family, right? How is it that we can build balance and show them what it looks like? I always say to my clients, I'm not going to tell you something that I have not done or that I'm not willing to do myself. Is that every instance or every level that you're increasing in wealth and in success, you have to figure out what you want that to look like. And don't start that when you get there, start it before you get there. So that way it's a smoother transition and you can have that balance between humility and power as well.
Wow. Well, you all heard it. You heard it from Dr. Tabitha. I told you this was going to be a hot show. And sure enough, she has came in hot on tonight. There may be someone saying in our last 2 minutes, hey, we want to reach out to you. We want to know more about this power on purpose, being powerful on purpose, workshops, conference, coaching. What's a good way for them to get your books and to reach out to you to get to know what it is you're doing that can benefit them?
Yes, absolutely. Well, you can find me on all social media at I am Dr. Tabatha, as well as my website is tabatharussell.com. And you can find my books on Amazon. They are being sold under Dr. Tabatha Russell. And I do have a sneak peek of my brand new book. I just got it today. It's called Mindset Metamorphosis and is defining the shapes of leadership. You can find that also on Amazon. I am so excited to share that with you. It's a secret, but that's all right. I'll share it with you.
Awesome,
Thank you so much.
awesome. So all things Dr. Tabatha Russell, I want to thank you for gracing our stage tonight, gracing the audience. And I've gained so much and just sitting here listening. And I've been taking notes, and even people in the chat. Yes, Dr. Marcia says, yes, your husband ain't no joke. He is a great supporter. Yes, 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 yes. And Daryl, thank you for all the nuggets. CNBC.com. You can check the stock market out. He's given some NASDAQ information. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you so much for that. Yes, yes, yes. Ronnie said, what a great conversations filled with so much knowledge. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome stuff. Awesome. So this has been our show for tonight. Thank you all for joining in. I appreciate you. I value you. You have been with Dr. Tammie Harris, Mindset to Millions. Next week, we're going to have a wonderful audience that's going to be here as well. I want you to tune in next Monday. Keep me in your prayers and thoughts as I will be traveling to South Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa, speaking on big stages for women empowerment conferences. And I'll be doing some workshops as well. But tune in next Monday night at 8 p.m. Dr. Marcia is going to be our guest. So we can't wait to hear from her. And of course, Lady Linda's going to be on, being my host, and she's going to be shooting those questions at Dr. Marcia, and you'll get a chance to ask as many questions as you want from the original girl boss, Dr. Marcia herself. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a blessed night. And as always, I'll see you at the top. God bless.